Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our review of The Bachelor episode 6. This is an episode that was full of questionable decisions, some maybe by Matt, some by production. Why?
Yeah,
Why?
we have a lot to talk about in this, especially a little finger wag at production for not choosing a lane. Are we quarantined or are we not? You can't just do this to us.
This whole show is so absurd. Like, the real question I have with all this Heather nonsense, and we'll talk a little bit about Heather here at the start, but how stupid do you guys think we are? Like, really?
No, it's all ridiculous. We're gonna pull that apart.
Well, before we do, we've got our chainsaws at the ready here to go into this whole facade. But if you guys enjoy this discussion, subscribe to the channel, because every week we're here, we're talking The Bachelor. We are trying to guide you through this weird sea of nonsense that they are putting on the screen.
We also have a really busy week here at the channel. So if you're watching This Is Us, NCIS, we have that coming up tomorrow. We have Clarice coming up on Thursday, brand new. We've got Blacklist. We got American Idol on Sunday. There's a lot going on. So yeah, just hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out.
Yeah, it's going to be a crazy week, just like this was a crazy night in The Bachelor. But let us start with Heather driving up to what felt like it was a weird candid camera footage of
Yeah, there's a security camera of the security guy in the booth, and she rolls up with no mask. Hey, I'm here in the middle of a pandemic. I'm just showing up here and, real late in the game, real late in the game. It was all quite irritating to me because this show did sort of lay it out that we're in a pandemic. This is what they're doing. They are quarantining people. They're not just having people surprise roll up. I love pretend shocked Chris Harrison as much as anybody else, but it just isn't believable. I don't believe, or more of, I need to not believe that she actually rolled up with no mask to that security guard who was wearing a mask. If that happened, that is really not cool on what Heather did. However, I think she's been in quarantine this whole time.
I believe that too. I believe everything was set up for our convenience or inconvenience based on how you feel about a lot of this sort of nonsense. Because it's also how would Heather know where they're taping? Is Heather going through Bachelorette and all the spoiler accounts trying to figure out and pinpoint locations?
For sure.
It is that whole thing was really weird. Also, if some some former contestant shows up at a security gate and it's I need to see Chris Harrison now. Is Chris Harrison really going to come down? I love that they had this shot of Chris, and they made it seem like he walked all the way on foot, down to that station. That thing felt like it was fun. Chris Harrison had a limousine, 8 drivers right outside the frame.
For sure.
Okay, so we get all that. And then they make us say, okay, Heather's going into her quarantine now.
Yeah, okay, so the Heather cam. I could have done without the Heather cam. There are legit women in this house that I still don't really know, because Victoria ate up so much time during this season that there are quality women in here that I still don't know who they are. I don't need to get to know Heather.
You're telling me that you did not appreciate Heather. What was she doing with that pizza box? Was she balancing it or something?
Listen, I can relate to that. It's boredom. It's quarantine boredom.
Yeah, I understand that, Heather. But the other thing is, why Heather? I'm not being mean to Heather. She seems nice enough, but it's the only thing I remember about Heather from Colton's season was that she was the never been kissed person, and they put that all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she just truly likes him.
Maybe so, but it's we're really far in now.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Okay, we are so far into this process that I kind of don't understand the women's reaction to it. I understand them being why would somebody come in this late? Like everyone else's, our relationships have all moved along so far that like she's not a threat. She's not going to come in and win over his heart this late in the game. It's just, it never happens. So why they're getting this upset that they're basically doing the same thing they've done all season, I'm going to burn her to the ground sort of thing. And now Katie's not here to help.
I don't know what is going on. Like, I think in the Serena called her a virus, which is just like so over the line. I can't even fathom how over the line that is.
Yeah, no, the preview showed a lot of the women overreacting to her coming into the house, because if you've watched the show even one time, you know that the person that's coming in this late into the game, which normally it's not like quite this late, but it's still late. There's always somebody. They're never the person they end up with. They stick around for an episode and then they're gone.
Yeah, like it's hard to sit here and make this like huge list of people who arrive late and end up doing well. I guess it was Nick. I think Nick made it, but he didn't win. It's like, that's the thing. Even him.
Yes, they don't end up winning.
No, it's all just sort of like it's a total waste of our time, because what are the odds Matt sends her home immediately?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's going to send her home immediately. I mean, maybe there's a couple women left that, he's not going to end up with, like Serena. It's just not really a thing that's going to happen. I mean, he spent like 0 time with her, which is why she was getting so upset with Katie. So we need to dissect that as well. So
okay.
Serena's really mad that Katie spoke up about the bullying thing. And one of the weirdest things that Serena said about this was, she was like, why are you bothering Matt with things that don't matter? And I was just like, if this doesn't matter, then when is the time to speak up? Because what's been going on in this house is pretty crazy.
It felt a lot like Serena was being like, how dare you point out the indiscretions of other people in the house when you're taking away from my time? Well, you know what? If this kept continuing, eventually Matt was going to find out about it, maybe on his own. Maybe he would walk in on an argument. Maybe somebody else would have eventually had the courage to stand up and say something. Katie effectively, and this is just my opinion, got people more time because she tried to nip it in the bud before it got worse. It felt a lot like she was just sort of projecting all of her anger, which is on a million different things, on Katie just because she doesn't like Katie.
Yeah, and I think part of it is that she's not getting time with Matt. And I understand that frustration as well. However, some of that lands on Matt for not spending time with you, because he can make that stuff happen. He can make it happen in the group dates. He can make it happen on the one-on-ones, and he's not doing that. So if you're going to get upset, some of that needs to be directed towards the person that you're dating who is mad.
It feels like The Bachelor, every time like one villain leaves, they like have to go into the drawing board and be like, okay, who is going to be the next adversary? First it's MJ after Victoria. Now it is Serena C, who all of a sudden is like really unlikable.
Yeah, I mean, they do have to keep bringing people in, but it is very interesting that this sort of theme of the house gangs up on one person or the new people or now Heather, like it just seems to be a theme that is going on in this house all season long. And we've seen a little bit of stuff like this throughout the years, but I can't remember ever seeing anything as bad as this.
I'm going to be really sad now because I have to talk about what happened here to Katie, and I'm not happy about it. I feel like we have lost one of the better lights of this season. This is the craziest thing. I can't think of a single thing during that date she could have done better. Like, she was open, she was honest, she expressed a romantic interest, she was fun, she took part in whatever that was with Tyler Cameron.
I knew it. As soon as it was like, oh, we're having the joke date, I knew it was over. This happened on Tayshia's season as well with Easy, where it was like, hey, we're going to do the spooky, ridiculous joke date funhouse thing. And I was like, oh no, that's it for that. And so as soon as that came up, yeah, I was really worried about her. But Matt's loss is our gain. I still feel like she could be the Bachelorette. I like her so much, so I really do hope.
Come on, Variety. You guys did report tonight that there's discussions. It's not confirmed. It's not confirmed.
It's not confirmed, but I mean, like, it feels pretty confirmed that if Bachelor Nation wants this, that the show is going to listen. That's about as much as we can confirm. I'm sure they're listening.
Yeah, it feels like they're listening. It feels like they know America really loves Katie. I mean, usually the next lead doesn't get eliminated this early on, but it just... She's likable, she's funny. I think she's going to tell guys off who are total toolboxes.
Yeah, I think the problem is sort of just that the villains of this season have really overshadowed all the normal people that are there to sort of have a relationship with Matt or for us to really get to know. And I mean, we might get to know them a little bit better when we're getting to sort of hometown dates and stuff like that. But it's been hard to keep track of people this season.
Did Katie get friend zoned? Because this is
yeah,
I feel like, and this is the crummy thing, once again, about being the person who has to be the bearer of bad news. Because I feel like when Katie went to Matt and told him about all this nastiness that was going on, it was a really good thing to do, but I also kind of felt like it was her sort of sacrificing her own chances, because for some reason the guys never want to be with the woman who's actually honest with them about what's going on in the house, that they're causing problems.
Well, also, I think it is a friendship thing that you would do. You go to your friend to be like, hey, you know what, this stuff is happening, you know, let me just wanted to let you know, kind of thing. It's not a romantic thing to do. So when he's having these romantic moments with other people, and then you're coming up being like, by the way, this is happening, cool, thanks bud, I appreciate it, that's sort of what it's like.
Matt, I have a message to you. I'm communicating to you as a fellow Matt. You can be friends with the person who becomes your partner.
Shocking, right?
It's not either or. Like, I know this may be a complete revelation, but you can have both. It's okay.
It is true, but it is difficult in this type of situation.
I'm sorry, Katie, but I'm not sorry if you're going to be the Bachelorette, because we will have a lot of fun with Katie's season of the Bachelorette.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that is the only thing that is keeping it together for me here, that Katie will hopefully move on to be the Bachelorette. I would love a whole season of her. That would be super fun. She really is fun.
Who would have thought that someone who came in on night one with a microphone, as we say, ends up becoming the lead? Who would have predicted this? What a journey we've all been on here.
Yeah, no, I did not predict this, but I mean, she came in with a prop that made her memorable in the joking kind of way.
Yeah.
And then she became very serious and very genuine and really stands for a lot. And I mean, it was really great. I was kind of hoping she wasn't going to get the joking date, because learning about her taking on all these serious situations, I was looking forward to having some of that. That's why when the joke date came out, I was like, oh no, here we go. Bye, Katie.
I have so many questions about this Tyler Cameron part of it. Like, I know this is information no one needs to know, but like...
Put your pants on, Tyler.
Okay, yes, obviously put your pants on. You're like meeting, like, this could be my future wife, and you're like...
Hey, nice to meet you. I'm in my underwear. It's just like, dude, like, I get you're getting caught off guard and whatever, but like, I don't know, man.
I just want to know how Tyler got set up. I was like, hey, Tyler, we're going to go give you a massage in this room now. It's like, how do you set up this premise where Tyler, while filming this show in the midst of a pandemic, is going to be like, all right, guys, I'm just going to go in here and get a massage now?
Yes, this is why, again, I feel like Tyler was in on it, especially the masseuse is like doing things, jumping on his back, rubbing him all weird. I just feel like during the pandemic that there's no way that he'd be like, while I'm here, I might as well have a massage from a stranger. Like, I feel like it's, again, Bachelor, you guys need to just pick a road. Are we safe or are we not safe?
the moment that she, like, stuffed his head, like, against that front thing, I would have been that SpongeBob, I'm a head out meme. Like, I would have just gotten right out of that table and out of that room.
Oh, for sure. If I had some masseuse that was rubbing down my chest and stuff like that, like, no. Even if I was a guy, I'd be like, no. Like, because it was not right. I'm surprised he didn't just get up and be like, I need to get out of here.
Let's talk briefly about the other date, the good one-on-one of the episode. Or I guess good in... It's like, if you get motion sickness, probably doing the, the county fair at night date probably isn't your best move.
No, probably not.
But it seemed like Piper enjoyed it. Like,
yeah.
She and Matt have a natural chemistry. This is not one of those things we can spend like 5 minutes talking about, though, because nothing really that significant happened.
No, it's unfortunate that this season is getting buried in drama the way that is. And we haven't even talked about MJ going home yet, who had basically the same ride home that Anna had, being like, I can't believe this happened. It's just like, well, of course you're going to face the consequences of your actions. Like, this is not shocking. Like, I don't get it.
I love that they kept in there that confessional of MJ, like, getting her hair together and being like, I'm ready to roll now. It's just sort
her
of...
confessionals are gold. I'll give her that. They were really entertaining.
They backed up the bus all over her in this episode.
Oh, they did.
It's still my favorite part of it, though, is when Jasenia tries to just say something nice, and she's like, you're done. It's my turn to talk now.
Oh, my God.
MJ, you have been talking for the past, 3 episodes straight. We've gotten everything we need to know from you.
Yeah.
I will admit, I was actually legitimately surprised that MJ went, because I felt like Jasenia's gotten, no airtime whatsoever other than this date.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that this wasn't a situation where he was like, I'm sending both of you guys home, because, yeah, both of them sort of feel like they haven't really made much of a connection with him.
I haven't felt like I've made a lot of a connection with Matt still, and
Agreed.
I'm frustrated by it because I really want to like him. He seems nice enough. It's just, I still know nothing really about him. Like, if I was to ask you, what's one thing you learned about Matt from tonight's episode? Could you even give an answer?
No, and that's why when they brought in Tyler, my hope was actually going to be that he was going to be like, listen, my best friend is in town. Why don't we all have lunch together? Because then I was like, oh, here we go. This could be a thing. I'm going to start to actually get to know Matt. But it's a really weird position that I'm in, because for a long time I was like, man, I'd love a fresh new face. That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Someone we haven't seen already. Yeah, bring me Matt. Then, now here we are, and I'm like, oh, now I'm starting to understand why they usually pick somebody from the season before, because it's not the lead you're really getting to know. It's the contestants you're getting to know, and this is what's happening now.
And I feel like he speaks in a lot of platitudes. Like, I feel like he's saying a lot of, I'm going to follow my heart. I'm just trying to listen to my heart. He says the word heart a lot just in general, but like he feels like he's just saying like a lot of generic Bachelor quotes.
Yeah, I feel like he's either sort of really closed off, or, well, actually what it is it feels like he's very self-aware that he is on a show. So he's not really just letting himself be out there like a Katie, who's just like, here I am. I don't approve of bullying. Also, I had my microphone. Also, I like to joke around.
Yeah.
Like, there isn't a lot of that with Matt. It feels like he's very aware that he's on TV and he wants to make a good impression, and what that's turning into is that it's getting a bit dull, and that the show has had to put in 500 villains where we've got Jokers and Banes and everybody's running amok in the city, and Matt is just kind of there.
Matt needs to be like, I'm Batman, here to take them out.
That's right.
That is the only Batman impression I will do. I will just keep moving on because that was not good.
That is a lie. We will see it again, I am sure.
You're right. Okay, so bowling. I like bowling. I will admit this. I'm not great at it, but it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
I was more on board. If you're gonna do the whole losing side, you have to go home and be sad day. At least they weren't like hurting each other like we've seen before.
I thought the bowling date was really fun, and I did like that he called them back and was like, you know what, we don't have that many women left in the house. Everybody deserves a bit of time. Plus, for Matt, for him to have more time. I mean, he is getting to the end of this process now.
My favorite line of the entire episode, and I don't even know who said it. It was just like a group of the losing team. One of them, objecting to his decision to at first send them home, said, "Matt, what do you want in a wife? A bowler?" It was just like, that is the perfect answer to all of this. That this entire thing is just pure garbage. There are no rules in the show.
No,
your amount of time with your potential future husband is dictated by your ability to throw a ball down a line of wood.
Yep.
And there you have it. Everybody gets back. Michelle ends up getting the group date rose. He's obviously super into Michelle.
Also, we lost Maggie in this date, which really sucked. And actually, the whole season with her, I really was excited about her at the beginning of the season. I'm like, man, she's beautiful, she's smart, she's fun, like, this is going to be great. And then they barely showed her. All I remember of showing her is her paddling around circles in that pumpkin boat, and now she's gone.
Yeah, like, I was listening to her speak after that rose ceremony. She was just... I was like, I haven't actually heard your voice in weeks. Like, you have such a cool accent. And it's like, I have literally forgotten your accent because I have not heard you on this show.
Yeah.
How did this happen?
I do not know how that happened. Honestly, I just don't.
Okay.
Like I said, beautiful, smart, fun. I don't get it, man.
Okay, I am naming you executive producer of Bachelor in Paradise. Is Maggie one of the first 3 people you're calling?
No, and I really wish that she was going to be there, but I just think that if they didn't have enough footage to sort of bring in anything that they think that we would want, then I'm feeling like maybe she's just too good for the show. She's too normal. She's just like, hey, I'm here. Let's have a nice time. But like, she's not here for the drama.
I feel bad for Brittany, too, who got eliminated, and it's like her whole legacy on this show is just being stuck with this garbage that Anna threw out there. I wanted her to get a date or at least, like, some sort of moment after that.
Yeah, I did, too. Man, Ryan took this really hard.
Yeah, she wasn't... I was surprised, because we only got to see a little bit of her.
Yeah, I was really, really surprised at how hard she took it, but at the same time, this is a really intense experience. You're only there to focus on your relationship with Matt. There is nothing else. You're not on your phones. Yeah. You're not reading books. You're not watching TV. You're not on the internet. This is your only thing that you can focus on there. So I get why it's as intense as it is.
Apparently, you can't even focus on what the other women are saying, even if it's bad, because then you're a terrible person for stealing time away from... Serena, you cannot leave, fast enough. But... Anyway, we will close on that note. What did you guys think about tonight's episode of The Bachelor? Are you sad that Katie is gone, or happy that she is probably going to be the Bachelorette?
Woo!
Let us know. Katie. If you like this video, I stopped the Katie too early. Okay.
I'm not.
Subscribe, give us a like. We're going off the rails, and if you want to support us more, we got our Patreon, we have our store. Thank you guys for watching. Katie, we will see you here next time.